there's very little opportunity for sculptors. And Sculpture Tucson actively finds, makes, develops programming and opportunities for us to make a living.
I think they're very important. Without Sculpture Tucson and other organizations like this, I wouldn't have a resource to display my art.
I think it's really cool to finally see my work like being seen more professional and being like at places like Sculpture Tucson.
It's wonderful to have this quality of work and to be able to get all these sculptures together, and it's not a crafty fair, and it really highlights sculpture as a medium.
It attracts artists from literally all over the country, and it's a very high-end thing, and so it also attracts people that are serious about art.
Coming to the show, talking and watching people look at the piece and look in their eyes go boom. It fills me, it inspires me to do more.
Sculpture Tucson was formed by Steve Kimball, Jeff Timon, and myself, Barbara Gregudas.
We love sculpture. It's what we do, and we're good at getting sculpture into the public, which we all felt was a contribution that we could make to Tucson and to our community. It's really a love letter to Tucson.
The three of us are sculptors, and we love the idea that sculpture should not be tucked away somewhere where in private lots. Three-dimensional art is much harder to show in galleries, and it needs to be outdoors and monumental. I've been involved in creating monumental sculptures for a very long time, and I wanted to create a space for other artists to show their work.
Was just very interested in working with a material that could withstand the Arizona elements, the sun, the wind, the rain, and the heat. Since we don't use a lot of lawn and grasses here in Tucson, I thought I would make something that people could adorn their homes with.
I'm a master goldsmith and eventually evolved into sculpture that's all handmade and fabricated in my studio. I like visually communicating stories that talk about relationships, love, family, and ritual.
I'm very excited about it. I haven't done shows in over a decade. I've been in art for a long time, and actually did nightclub theming and remodels for a long time, and then finally started migrating towards metal fabrication, and that evolved into me being a metal sculptor.
Sculpture is the language that we express ourselves in best. We see things in a different way, and we're showing that because we have to. That's the reason, because otherwise no one would be a sculptor. It's very tough going. One of our goals is to help sculptors out to create some commerce, and our major motivation is to make sculpture more pervasive.
My dad is one of the first generation stone sculptor in Zimbabwe, and I wanted to be like my dad. And my dad taught me what I live for. Every day I wake up and I like to be finding what's in the stone and share with the world. These are all one-of-a-kind hand-carved stone sculptures.
Mostly became a sculptor because I liked the job description and the attire and being able to be kind of outside the norm, which you kind of have to be to do all the work all the time. What I try to accomplish with my sculpture is trying to capture natural movement and the natural beauty of the materials. I was an engineer, and my wife encouraged me to go back to art school, so I went back to art school. And then once I retired, I started playing around with making sculptures. All these materials are found in junkyards and thrift stores. Everything is a found object. Even the neon comes from a local, the Ignite Sign Museum here in town.
Why sculpture out in the environment? Tucson has a naturally beautiful environment. The built environment is less beautiful. The creation of sculpture and placement in public spaces can add interest and say something about who we are as people who inhabit the planet. And every artist expresses that in a different way.
We're all emanating these energies out in the world. I'm this central source of energy that emanates these objects from my soul. Ultimately, at the end, the biggest sculpture is salvation, and sculpture has always been that for me. You know, it's being an artist is very difficult, but it's that trust in yourself, the universe, and just doing what you're here for.
Two sculptures here. One of them is Head in the Clouds, and that is the big cloud that is hanging. The concept is just basically about daydreaming. The name of my second sculpture is Everything in Between. I took inspiration from life and kind of connecting parallels of like highs and lows that we have in life.
I've been really trying to integrate modern techniques with traditional sculpture. I use a lot of really high-tech equipment that people didn't have access to even 10 years ago. I've been learning programming with sculpture to make interactive, moving, creative machinery.
Sculpture Tucson really provided an amazing opportunity for my students. Usually undergrads, it's very hard for them to get exhibitions at all. And this is the kind of thing that really gives them the real world experience of just the logistics of putting a good show together that's professional and looks tight.
So this is a secret, okay? But what our real mission is to save the world. That's what we're trying to do. The only practical way that we can do it is by showing our neighbors and our community and whoever happens to pass by just a little bit of joy.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thank you for watching this Arizona Illustrated story here on YouTube. And if you like that one, well, here's another story we think you'll like.